All right, let's just review some trends and see what happened today. Where am I? All right, so the market is going up, 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 up. And over here, this was the best trade if you could get in. And the reason why, the market hit an upthrust. Market went into an upthrust position right here. It just penetrated. Okay, the prior high was 1798.4, and this high 1798.9. So basically by half a point. It went into upthrust position, and you had a change of behavior. I mean, it's basically selling from the upthrust. So why is that important? Well, when you have selling from an upthrust, that means it's rejecting. So after that, it went a little bit lower right here. And I mean, that's about it. So it's confirming by going lower. It hit the upthrust, selling came in, and it's making lows. And over here, you have a nice block to risk off of, and tap goes down. So this was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the trade. Here the buyer stepped in, where I wrote invalidated. Right here, the buyer started stepping in. So they created this upthrust here on the lower time frame, which led to a bottom. And here, smart money started coming in again. Where? Right there, where it says 13. Why? Because the biggest volume in 100 bricks. So the initial buying was here. It was either buying or short covering, whatever, who cares? There's some buying here, and then buying here, it hit a climax. You see, biggest volume in 18 waves, followed by a reversal in heavy volume, which is buying. It's really straightforward buying. This is a volume off the bottom. That's what the behavior is called. It's called volume off the bottom. Happens all the time in when you have sign of strength and sign of weakness. In the sign of strength, a lot of times you have volume off the bottom, and sign of weakness, you have volume off the top. You just have to be able to identify it. You can do it on a bar chart too. You're going to see a spike. So I mean, it's buying low and selling high. That's what it is. After that, volume off the bottom does the breakout right here. And the entire wave is big, as the biggest wave in terms of volume in 12 waves. And it's coming from an area that's pretty basically near that support area. So that low bar on the higher time frame coming from the low bar. And then after that, taps in and flies. So what are the taps in and flies? So what are the key lessons here? Well, the lesson is when you're in upthrust position, and you guys should really pay attention, because I know a lot of you try to trade upthrust and springs, and I've a number of times explained to you how to trade upthrust and springs. Right? So that's what I've taught on this channel, what to do and all that. So what is the lesson here? Oh yeah, and this one too. This was also a good turn. This was a third turning point. So this trend, stop. This trend, volume here, big problem. You know why? Because it hit the volume. I think this was also an upthrust. Actually, this was the first upthrust. Yeah, there are actually two upthrusts on the higher time frame. this here was up thrust. Hit a up thrust. Alright, so it tapped. Let me see the high. The high was 1798.9. So here's 1798.9 right there. It hit the up thrust, right? So when it hit the up thrust, it got selling, right? So you know, selling, tapped in again, and what do you get? Selling. All right, now what are you looking for? Well, you have to see clear breaks. So I'm looking here, I don't see break. I don't see break even here, but here I see the break. So you have up thrust position, selling, that's your change of behavior. Right here is your breakout, the breakout, breakdown, whatever. How do I know? I mean, look at it. It's the biggest bar in the wave that takes out this low. So what's it doing? Breaking that support level. Crack. After that, it's just a matter of, whether you want to get in or not. So up thrust position, change of behavior, follow through, sell the test, in, and enjoy the ride down. Right? Here, I just could not see it. Here, I don't know what the hell this was doing here, because this was very sneaky. And I couldn't pick it up. But there was evidence, because there's 5 bricks in a row, green, 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 and that sometimes that's telling me something, but it just didn't pick up. The indication just didn't pick up. I don't know why. All right, so here 5 bricks, right, and then that's selling. This again went into that up thrust position, even a little bit higher, selling low. When it does this and it's in an up thrust position, you could sell the tap, right? Because that means like either the up thrust is going to work or not. If it's not going to work, the up thrust is going to get up thrusted or broken out. So up thrust is a very nice place to risk off of. Springs and up thrust, they're very nice in that you can risk off the high and the low without waiting for, a pullback and reversal and rejection and all that stuff. You just know your risk level immediately. The risk level on the up thrust is the up thrust high, and the risk level on spring is the spring low. Right? After change of behavior, follow through, that's it. Game over. Tap in and puke. Right? Now over here, I really couldn't see that spring, but like a dumbass, I should have seen the volume of the bottom. You see the volume of the bottom here? That's the biggest volume in 100 bricks. Boom, 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 breakout. So you have your breakout, you have this. Now you can risk the low. Okay? So what am I trying to free and explain here? All right, so a lot of times you're waiting for the market to pull back and then reverse and all that. But how do you take a risk-based entry? How do you take a risk-based entry? So I'm going to explain that now. A risk-based entry what is the difference between a risk-based entry and normal entry? Normal entry, you wait for a reversal, like a reversal bar, reversal brick. A risk-based entry, you take it as the market is coming down, you go long, and as the market is going up, you go short. So this is the risk-based entry. How do you do that? All right, how do you do that? The risk is always the higher the low. So the thing with risk-based entry is if it's an upthrust or a spring, you just risk off of the upthrust or a spring, and then you count the amount of risk you want to take and enter. The other way to do it is if you have massive amount of volume. So basically volume off the bottom. All right. So risk-based entry, you could do it on an upthrust and spring. You could also do it against a volume off the bottom or the top. These are the 2 ways to do it. Why? Because there's so much volume there that whoever caused it will defend it. They should. I mean, that's the idea. I mean, take a look at this. This is the biggest brick in at least, I'm not saying 100, I'm saying at least 100 bricks. After that, I stopped counting. All right, that's how much volume. And if you see how much money's coming in, bang, right there, right? After that, it has a breakout. Well, that's the third thing I wanted to say. So it needs to have an upthrust or a volume off the top, volume off the bottom, and a breakout. And a breakout. Why? This has high probability. Why? Because they already spent time and effort doing the breakout. So are they going to move against their own breakout and take out the high, even though it's an upthrust high that they already took out? Or they're going to take out the volume of the top and the bottom, which they already spent so much money on accumulating that? No. All right. So you need to have, in my book, in my opinion, right? Oh, fuck, what did I do? Oh, shit. I don't know what I did. But anyway, forget it. Damn it. Alright, whatever. I fixed it. Okay, so so risk-based entry, you need to have upthrust or spring first. Second, breakout, right? And when you have that, then you can consider a risk-based entry. Do not even, and also when that happens, your market cannot be in markup and markdown. Like if it's range bound, you can do it. If it's in markup or markdown, you got to be careful. All right, I'm done. Thank you. Bye-bye.